Can we break the mold? Can we resist the temptation that the world is putting on us to get in a polar position from the others, to see people through big labels as they're this or they're that, but can we see them as people lost and helpless without a shepherd, just as we should see ourselves apart from Christ? That the only reason that we're not lost and without a shepherd is because Jesus is our shepherd. It's not of our own doing. It's no self-righteousness. Paul says in Romans 12, rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Can you weep with the person who might be losing their job because they don't feel comfortable getting a vaccine? Can you sit with them even though you don't view the issue the same? Can you sit with the immigrant who crossed over the border into the United States illegally because they want something better for their child who's dying in an oppressive country and living in poverty? Can you step away from a political view and be present with somebody and say, I could see why they would do it. I would do that for my child. I would do that for my family. No, it may not be the right way to address it, and we need to fix that. But can you have empathy instead of folding your arms and judging them for making that decision? Can you and I sit with families, whatever you view about a war, can you sit with a family or an individual who is weeping over the loss of life, the loss of friends, the loss of a family member because of a 20-year war that came to a close, and there seems to be no better situation than was when it started in many ways? Can we move off of our positions that make us feel righteous and justified, and can we embrace people in a way that says, I don't agree, or I wouldn't get to the same place that you got to, but I can be present with you and I can weep with you and I can be present with you because I have empathy. Can I have compassion? This visceral feeling that, oh, I wish your circumstance was different. If you know somebody who's experiencing COVID symptoms and they didn't get vaccinated, can you say, listen, I don't rejoice. Some people literally are laughing or feel justified because somebody gets COVID and they didn't get a vaccine. They feel like that's okay because they deserve it. They didn't get vaccinated. Oh my goodness. Can we move off of these places where we think we have the ability or the right to have certain feelings and positions that are polar opposites? Some people feel justified that people have adverse effects to getting a vaccine because, well, they shouldn't have gotten it in the first place because they are taking an experimental vaccine. They feel justified in their feelings towards those people. Oh, church, can we point a new way? Can we point to a way of hope in Jesus Christ that says, listen, I can sit with you. I can rejoice when you're rejoicing. Even if my circumstances aren't there, I can be present with you, and I can rejoice at what God is doing in your life. I can hear your testimony and celebrate your healing even if I'm still waiting for mine. I can celebrate with you for your promotion even though I'm still struggling in the job that I'm in or I'm unemployed at this point. My ability to empathize and be present with you isn't always conditioned on my circumstances. I can live in community with you in such a way that we share together each other's victories and we share together each other's moments of grieving and loss. This is what life together looks like. This is what it looks like when we're in community. You're my brother or sister in Christ, so I celebrate with you when God does something wonderful in your life. And I weep with you when you're going through a hard circumstance. Because we're together in this. Because we are serving the same Father. May this be our heart. Can we do this for one another and in this way truly live life together and point to a different experience than what the world sees? Instead of living in polar opposites, can we sit with each other? Not because our views are the same, but because our Father is the same and our Son, the way of salvation, is the same, and because the Spirit within us is the same. And we want to embrace what He's doing in our life more than we want to be righteous in our own self and in our own views and take up polar opposites from one another.